Okay, so a warm welcome to everyone here today. My name is Adeolu Akiyemi, and my responsibility here today is to be the MC of today's events. For those who are watching from anywhere they are watching from, what we would like you to know is that the purpose of this meeting is essentially to ensure that as many of us as possible can get to hear about some of the things that are happening in the green community, some of the things that are happening with Orida around the world, and basically have a scientific view to why are these things going on like this, why are they happening like this, and to basically also offer advice for certain other ailments that people are taking care of, or to dissuade people from certain practices that we feel may not be healthy or good for people to do. So very quickly today, I'm going to be having a number of people on this panel who will share with us. In this panel today, we have 2 medical doctors, we have 2 pharmacists, we have 2, I think we have one nurse and 2 scientists. So the full meeting today, as they speak, they will introduce themselves and they will share from the wealth of the experiences that they have had with Reader and off the Reader range as well. So today, I'm going to bring in first the newest face in our conference, Dr. Diron Onifade, aka Onifire. Is going to bring him up first. And the question we usually ask to break the ice is, which of the Reader testimonies is the one that has given your brain the most task? Which one are you most excited about? Which one are you most surprised about? Or which one has made you think, what exactly is going on here? Why is this happening? Why is this working? So we'd like you to share that testimony with us. And then from that place, the conversation will begin to start. Dr. Odifire, over to you.
Okay, good afternoon. My name is Dr. Diron Onifade, as CM has rightly introduced me. So there is a lot of testimonies, and really to come out with a particular one is a difficult task for me. But there is one particular one I would want to share today. I've never talked about this anywhere before. Never. And I actually wish, thank God the video is going to be available for people to watch. And this one is a personal one to me too. And this happened a few months ago, more than 3 months ago now. And this was about COVID-19. Because personally, I tested positive to COVID-19 as at that period. And it was really very bad. It was really, really very bad. The story is long, but it's going to be a summary. Available in a book. I'm from one way or the other. The book, I've written a book on it, which is going to be available. So I got positive to COVID-19. I went to where the test is done, the isolation center. I wasn't isolated anyway, because I isolated myself in my house. And in working together with the Lagos State people and the doctors in charge and all, I do all the things I'm supposed to do. But part of the thing that is very key to my treatment in that period was these our products. And it's really surprising that I'm going to start talking about this product as something as a regimen I use in my treatment of my own personal COVID-19 story. And it's not just me. After I used it, as not as the only therapy, in combination with other things that I am on, and I've actually put quite a lot of people that come out with anosmia. Anosmia is they cannot perceive anymore, they cannot do this anymore and all. Because I have a forum where I give free medical advice to people. So on that forum, quite a lot of people have reached out to me, and I tell them that, okay, you cannot smell, you cannot do this anymore. It's probably going to COVID-19. Get yourself tested. So most of them want to get tested, but I say, okay, if you don't want to get tested, do this. But one of the key things I always recommend for them is Reader. And the immunity has been fighting it, and I've not had to, none of them has actually had any serious or progression to the severe form of the disease. In as much as I don't have a research to show that this is the key thing that is working for them, but the numbers are there, the testimonies are there. Someone that has been so down for a while that we expect that, okay, this virus is going to take the course of so number of time, and they will start this thing, the immunity has been able to build and fight it and all. So this to me is one of the key testimonies I have. I have so many, but this one is personal because it was really an emotional period. Things are fine now because I can talk and laugh about it and all that, but as at that peak of thing, it wasn't just like that. It was something serious that even my own lasted for more than how other people's own lasted. I wasn't able to go to work for quite a long of time. There was an issue of testing and retesting and quite a lot of issues around it and all. So this to me is one of my key testimony when it comes to this product of Reader and what it is doing in building immunity, among so many other things that it's doing. So this is a personal experience, and this is what I want to talk about and inform and enlighten people about the immune boosting activity of the product today. So if I have more chance to talk about this, I will probably shed more light.
Okay, interesting and awesome. So this is a personal story, and it's about immunity boosting. I remember that time. I remember, a little bit about that time because I was a little bit privy, and I know that he's talking about it very calmly now. I think at that time, it was believed that I hope I'm not going to die like this. And there are a number of factors, surrounding the concerns and all that. But thank God that that's passed. Thank God for the opportunity to be alive and well after the fact. So, but I'd like us to take this conversation around on immunity boosting. What have we encountered in the same line of immunity boosting as regards the product? So I think that conversation can start from top left, Dr. Fumi, and then Mrs. Agumbi Ade will take it from her.
Okay, am I to respond to Dr. Nifade or personal?
Well, you can respond to Dr. Nifade, you can share immunity boosting, you can go personal.
Okay, yes. I mean, of course, yes, I knew about it at the time, and the role that Reader played, it sort of it increased one's faith, so to speak, in the efficacy of the product. I know that personally, during that COVID period, of course, everybody who comes in contact with people would always at a point think, I hope this is not happening. And then for me, there were a number of times where maybe I would wake up and I'd feel as though I was ill. But I'll just go on. I mean, it's not like I don't take Reader all the time, but some days, you won't take it for a while. I'll just take Reader for a few days and I'm better. I mean, I know I've had at least 2 episodes of serious sore throats. I wake up with a sore throat and I'm like, no. I wake up and then drink the Reader, gargle with it, and inhale steam of Reader balm, and that's the end. And that has happened. I've because of that, I've prescribed and recommended Reader and Reader balm for a number of people with similar conditions, and there's been almost instant resolution. I mean, within 2-3 hours, a sore throat that started and kept you up at night for hours disappears, and you don't hear about it any longer. So it's quite interesting. That immunity boosting is true, it's valid. Like Dr. Nifade said, probably we might eventually be able to research and know, yes, this is why it does it, but whether we do or not, it does it. So that's what I would like to contribute at this point.
Okay, thank you very much, Dr. Fumi. I know. Is there anybody else willing to make a comment on immunity boosting or piggy on that comment and take us further? Anybody else?
Yeah, I think I would like to say something about immunity boosting. Yeah, my name is Temitope Akiyemi. I'm a pharmacist and I'm on this panel. I'm very passionate. I'm a herbal medicine enthusiast, and I'm a pharmacist by training. I'm very excited about the immunity boosting power of Reader because I've seen it at work in my family, amongst myself and my children. These days or sometime when people talk about coming down with malaria has become a very distant occurrence in my home. I mean, I have children, but it's been years. I mean, it's been a few years. like we're counting 2 years now, and we've not had issues of malaria in my family. That's a big deal. I mean, for me, it's been a bit more than that. But these days, when I hear about malaria, then I remember that malaria exists. That's a very big deal. Yeah, I have all my sisters outside the country, and when they talk about malaria, they are literally afraid. And malaria is not alien to us; it's like normal in our environment. But I look within my family, my children are in boarding school, but I ensure that they take reader weekly. When they're going to school, they go with at least 2 bottles of reader. They go with cleanser. And even in school, they don't come down with malaria. They're in boarding school. I mean, that's big for me. I mean, so that means the average person that is in boarding school that comes down, maybe water they drink or whatever. I mean, my mosquitoes is normal. I mean, boarding school is like it's normal, but it doesn't happen. I mean, it hasn't happened we're counting years. I mean, that for me is like stamping it there to say that immunity boosting. And is one thing I really would like to talk, if I'm given an opportunity to shout something out very loud about what reader does, is to prevent you from falling ill. That's the biggest thing about it. You don't have to fall ill, then we now start experiencing the power of reader. Somebody can remind you after like 2-3 years that sickness exists. That's the life. I mean, for me, and I've seen that at work. So, COVID, all of that. I mean, we have bottles and bottles. When one bottle finishes, we take another one. Then I had some guests around. We're all loading up on reader, and we're all good. I mean, so that's a really big one for me. It's definitely immunity boosting. It's really a very big one for me. Yeah.
Okay, great. So I think that this Mrs. Temilade Agunbiade, it will be good that you sit still so that you can see your face. And when it's time for you to speak, we can activate you to speak. Now, I think this immunity boosting element is something that people are not very excited about what they will gain. People are more passionate about what they don't want to lose. And that's why I think people are more likely to be interested in buying or getting on board a product based on the ailments they already have rather than preventing. Of course, it's something we need to do, culturally to help people realize prevention is better than cure. But I think this particular testimony from Dr. Dion, I think he deserves his own conference. He deserves his own seminar. I think when we're going to be able to really, really explore this and dig deep into the immunity boosting abilities and possibly the support system for something like COVID-19, it's going to really require a very lengthy discussion. So while we still have that and we can still go into that conversation, what I want us to be able to quickly explore now is, so I'd like somebody else to share something else that is very, very visible to you. As somebody says the audio is bad. I think somebody's audio is pinging back on somebody's audio. Maybe we mute until we need to speak so that it doesn't affect I hope it's not my own. I hope it's not localized to this place. If you are hearing clearly, just type in the window we're hearing clearly so that we can just basically continue. So we so like I said, Dr. Dion's story and testimony is something that we will need to possibly spend special time on. But for today, I like us to just, let's take this further as well. I saw Adetutu, I saw Mrs. Ogoto Ashe, I'm seeing a few faces. I like us to be able to share what are the things that we have experienced, what are the things we have heard, which testimonies have we seen that really stand out for us, that we can begin to converse on. Mrs. Ogoto Ashe.
Good afternoon, sir.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon, everyone.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon,
one testimony that has stood out for me. My name is Mary Ogutuaji. I'm a lab scientist. Out of all the testimonies, there is, of course, the fertility problem, the big one. But the one that has really, really stood out for me was the testimony of, I think it's B, Mrs. Fumi Babamije. I think it was one that gave the testimony of a young guy that had been in mental home and coming back from time to time. He used to have disorders, and there will be something maybe on his head. And he was introduced to reader bitters. And I think he has only used it for like 7 days, and that was the end. He has never since then experienced that thing again. And when I read that testimony, wow, I screamed. I screamed.
Okay.
Because I didn't know that reader can actually work on something like that. I thought, okay, reader can work for ailments here and there. But I didn't know that reader can actually work for mental ailments also. So I took my husband on this and another friend that is a psychiatrist. And when I asked him I told him the testimony, and he said I should send him documents about reader bitters. I did. I told him all the ingredients in reader bitters. This is the one I know. And he said he will get back to me. So when he got back to me, he said that this your product is a powerful product. Now where did I get it from? I said, that's the company I work for. Now said, oh, now that is a great one. He now mentioned some things that if there is combination of Sina Alata, Ogoluko, Filosa, and he was telling me that those combinations are powerful, that they worked on nerves, and the problem of that guy must have been nerve connected. But all the speakers did was to strengthen the nerve, and the body just reconnected, and the body was okay. And when I asked my husband, he went to the area of what is just discussed, that immune system, that his immune system must have been very good, and he was equally surprised. And because they are medical doctors, they will want more facts. Now, okay, can they see test results? Can they see before and after? And I said, don't worry, we'll get some of these results to you so that you people can believe. But they were actually surprised anyway that somebody that was coming from a mental home, that was still having some issues, to be okay just using bitters. That's all I have to say for now. That testimony stood out for me amongst all the other testimonies I've been hearing.
Wow. I had forgotten that testimony. So, Dr. Diron, you are going to comment first on this one. I didn't know that. I'd forgotten actually that we had the case of somebody who, well, who used to treat a mental challenge.
I want to talk to you.
We are hearing you now. So we'll come to you. We muted you because your audio was affecting us. So, but no problem. Dr. Diron, over to you. We'll start with you, then we'll go around.
Okay. Really, I'm not surprised about that testimony. Can we hear me?
Loud and clear.
Yes, I'm not surprised about that testimony because there was something I read on NCBI. NCBI is one of all these medical journal review that they bring out medical information and all. So I read about the effect of free radicals, oxidative stress and all on the brain. And they had this detailed explanation of how powerful the antioxidant in the brain, how far it can be. So I'm not surprised that this is happening, because if you can measure the amount of energy being consumed by the brain in doing all the activities it does all the time, we know that the reaction going on in that place every second, every microsecond is powerful. And as a result of all the things we do, all the stress and all, if there is something that is actually making these free radicals to not damage the brain the way they are supposed to be damaging it, if there's something that's actually making them to maybe not even a complete regeneration, but supplying the basic nutrients and even enhancing the way they are absorbing all these nutrients the way they should, of course, it's going to have this effect on the brain and on the nerves and everything. So I'm not surprised. The issue with we doctors is that, and really I was in this paradigm before it's shifted. So I know the way this thing can be. Nobody will want to believe this thing, except maybe you experience it yourself, except you try to unlearn some things you have learned before, for you to be able to see this thing in this perspective that we are seeing right now. So for a long time, most doctors are going to be like this, in as much as that is still the curriculum that you are both reading in medical school, even in your post-degree and all, this is still what you are going to go into. You don't really study these other things in details, but you are always fast to criticize them. So I'm not surprised that it can actually make someone with, because they said something about Alzheimer's disease and how the effect of antioxidants can actually relieve you of the effect of all this Alzheimer's and forgetfulness and all that. So this is a good one, and I'm not shocked that this happened. In fact, it is expected. Thank you, CM.
Wow. Dr. Fumi.
Yeah.
Any other thoughts to add? You're mute, ma. We need to hear you. Unmute, ma.
Thank you very much. I don't have much to say except to say that it's still the same thing. I mean, we look at, our presentation slide where we see the effects of oxidative stress on different organs. And just in the line of what Dr. Onifade said, we actually probably do not know half of what reader can do. Probably because we've not tried. It takes us being a bit more adventurous, let me just use that word, to try. Because it's not an orthodox preparation, we haven't had the extensive research, probably we've been holding back. But I mean, these kind of testimonies are helping us to see that, look, you won't know until you try. And once a reader is not contraindicated in that condition, I think in a number of situations, we need to go ahead and just try. And so that's really what I want to add to what
Thank you very much, ma. Anybody else wants to add? Rita, MI?
I would just like to add something. Sorry. Yeah, I think it's the same thread. I mean, when we look at the central nervous system, we have Alzheimer's, we have Parkinson's, the same thing, and then we have this person that is exhibiting maybe schizophrenia and all of that. It's all linked to the nervous system. We took a look at Parkinson's and we saw that it has to do with some loss of some brain cells, some cells in the brain, on the nervous system. And then we speak about regeneration, we speak about reader working at the cellular level. I think it's the same thread that just joins everything. So anything that has to do with, mental, that has to do with, all of that, we really should try it. So I'm just taking it from what Dr. Nivadi said to say that any expressions or any issues that have to do with, that seem as something that we will normally cast as spiritual or that we can't explain, we can take the chance and just try it. Because everything really will still break down, will still go down, deep down to the cellular level, and we can really just try it. We never know what can come out from there.
Amazing. Okay. I thought Tutu wanted to say something.
Yes, sorry. Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, please go ahead.
Afternoon. Okay, can you hear me? Good afternoon, everyone.
Good afternoon.
Yes, we can hear you.
Good afternoon, ma'am. Thank you so much for your session since on Sunday. Yes, one of the things I found out about reader is the fact that we cleanses. And one basic thing I learned as a natural health therapy is that when somebody has issues with his or her health, one basic thing we need to do is take away the hindrances to healing, which a lot of the time has to do with toxins and the rest. I use a quantum test machine sometimes for some of those my coaching clients that come. And one of the things I find out about reader B-tags and the cleanser is that it removes mental toxins. Like the man talked about with the stroke. When I tested him, one of the things he had was heavy metal in his body, which has to do with mercury, lead, and some other, metal toxins. So in between 2 weeks that this man started with that, the metal toxins that has to do with mercury, lead, and all that reduces. And as they reduced, this man's health was improving. So basically for a natural health therapy, one of those things is that remove the toxins, introduce things that can benefit the body, which is vitamins and minerals, which also comes with this about bitters we're talking about, the bitter bitters we are talking about. So it removes the things that can damage the body, and still comes up with things that can benefit the body. So those are some of the things I found out about it. And personally, for myself, one of the things that actually draw me to actually go into the natural health phase is my health and the health of my family. We had a family history of diabetes. My father had it at an early stage, around 30. He died at 57. And by the time I was close to like 36 thereabout, I was, of course, the doctor told me this is pre-diabetes. By the time I didn't do so much about it, in less than 2 years, I was testing 230 even before eating. My blood fast will be 230 thereabout and the rest. And by the time, at some point I had to sit down and tell myself, I can't live this kind of life. I had to find solution, because at less than 40, my father was on insulin, daily insulin. So I told myself I had to find solution. That was when I started going out for, getting the knowledge and the rest, going for courses and the rest. And of course, before I started using Vida, my blood sugar with a lot of things that I've been doing, my blood sugar has reduced to around 100, 120 thereabouts. But even this morning, as I tested myself, I am on 83. And I'm like, this is low, 83. Of course, I've been on Vida for quite some time now. So it works. Natural things work. And why do they work? Apart from the fact that, okay, they move something and the rest. One of the things that I think they also work, why they also work, is the fact that our body is from the soil. So whatever comes in that is still close to nature, we help it.
Yep.
Happy, that's just it. Thank you.
Yeah.
Wow. Thank you very much. I can see Mrs. Thank you very much, Mrs. Adetutu. I can see Mrs. Agobiade lifting up her hand. So let me allow her to contribute into this. Mrs. Agobiade, you can unmute, and you can unmute as well. So we can see you now, and you can unmute. Yes, ma'am.
Yes. I want to say good afternoon, everybody.
Good afternoon.
Mine is a testimony. I have this friend came home sometimes last year, and while she was going, I just gave her the 500 mils of reader. And around April, she called me. She was sick. She was down, everything. Later, I learned that she had COVID-19. She was hospitalized. At least for about 2 months, she was on oxygen.
Wow.
When she was discharged home, she even went, they discharged her with the oxygen.
Wow.
So one day she now called me and said, are you sure that this is not that? And I said, come. What happened to it? She said, she right there, that. I said, yes, that one. She said, this at all. I said, take it, use it, let's see. Later, maybe about 3 days, she called me and said, come, how will you send more of that drug to me? I said, which drug? She said, she's getting better. I said, you are very sure? She said, she's getting better. I said, continue using it. She finished using it and she's okay. But my question now is, she has been asking me that, how will this drug get over there? I said, when I'm coming there, I will bring it.
Where?
But there is no way now. But our question is, can she give it to the whites to use? I said, I did not say that. I will ask. You know that their body system is not the same thing as our own. Just let me ask. I did not say go and give it to the white, but that you will get the drugs.
Where is
so
this?
That's my question. Can it be given to the white?
Where is this?
Because I'm very sure she's going to sign up, and I'm sure she wants to sell it to them. But I said, don't sell it to them yet, so that they will not, you won't land in prison. So please, the panelists, can we give it to the white?
Where is this? Where is this? US or UK or where? Where is the person?
US.
US.
New York, to be precise.
Okay.
New York, wow.
Okay, Dr. Fumi, I know. Is it okay for the whites? Or Dr. Rita that is closest to the whites?
It's okay. It's okay for the whites. They're human beings as well.
Exactly.
It's okay. I guess what I would advise is anybody who you're not sure, let them start small. Start with 10 mils, plenty of water, and graduate. That's just what I would say. But I have there is a white person who is currently taking Rida, and it's helping him keep his Parkinson's disease at bay. So definitely, and this is somebody who is very, very well known to me. So that's that's the answer.
Okay.
Thank you, ma'am.
No, so
yeah,
Dr. John, yes.
Okay, so on the issue, if it is okay for the whites, I know that Bernard Peace has shared some testimony of the Caucasians and their response to this product. So I know Caucasians are already using it. And the fact that if you understand the way Rida works, this issue of oxidative stress can actually be more with them, because you can see that they are the first set of people that come out with all these cancers and quite a lot of things because of diet and all. And because we too now started taking all these diets, we are seeing a whole lot of cases of cancer amongst us now. When we were taking our own natural diets and we are not absorbing the Caucasian's way of life, we don't normally have this.
Yes.
So I think this is just perfect for the white. Perfect.
Yes, so it's perfect.
Thank you.
Okay. Mrs. Ogunju actually wants to say something, yeah?
Yes, sir. If MI will remember, I think about 2 or 3 months ago, there was something I told her that our friend in Austria, they were actually using Rida, and all through the lockdown period, the COVID-19 period, they were like exempted. And I remember telling MI that she sent me extra money for the Rida. She already paid for the Rida, but she had to give me as a dash that thank you for this product. That after using it, all the whites around her, they started coming to their house every morning to come and take a shot. Every morning they were coming there to take from, because they discovered that out of all of them, that these people were not falling sick, and we are eating the same food.
Wow.
And at the end of the day, because of the COVID-19, they were not able to go far to get good food. They were eating food that they knew that they were not standard food, but they were eating it and they were not falling sick. So everybody was reporting to their home every day to come and take 10 meals. And after a while, he told me that this thing will finish you, and how will she get more? So I told her that keep it to yourself. Tell them that they should not come again until you are able to get new stock. So white are taking it like water. Even my friend in Italy, they are taking it. All of them are taking it now. So it's very okay for anybody, as long as the person is human being.
Very good. So to those people in Oshogbo that said that it is good for Africans, please note that it's not only good for Africans, it is good for everyone. Okay, it is good for everyone. Very good. So I'd like us to take it further a bit as well. Dr. Jiron, there's this, we joke and we say, we add fire to your name. Somebody called me, and I'll start with this. Somebody buzzed me like 4 days ago and said to me, sir, person said to me, this fire is really working. Oh. I said, he said this fire is really, really working. Oh. I said, what did you see? He said, I'm the one using it. Too. He said, I'm the one using this fire. And from all indications, it's as if my wife needs to go for tests. I said, good. I think yesterday we had somebody share about prostate. There was a prostate cancer testimony this morning as well. about the use of bitters and fire in faraway Uganda. I don't know if there's any testimony that we have seen about the use of fire, that stood out for us. Dr. Oni Fade should know more because they call him Dr. Oni Fire. So we'll start from you. Is there anything in fire that you have seen? I know it's not just only about sexuality, it also covers for prostrate and a variety of things as well. But over to you.
Okay, CM always say we should learn how to tell story. So I think I'll start this with one story about fire too. One of my downlines, she's in Abuja. So she said there's this elderly military man that keep coming to buy fire from her all the time. That the guy just keep coming, buying fire. That one day she just decided that, okay, what is this fire doing for you that you are really, really buying it? She actually felt that maybe it's because of sexual enhancement and all that. But lo and behold, the man is taking it for prostate. The man said he has been diagnosed of prostate maybe since when he was maybe close to 50, not exactly 50 or so. So he has been taking it, and I think the man is close to 60 now. And he said immediately he started taking fire, you now see that he can go to all this obstruction that comes with all this prostate issue. The obstruction is not as much as that again. He goes to toilet freely. He's able to pass urine freely. The pain he normally have is not as much again. And quite a lot of all those symptoms is relieving him, even up to now. So the man is always on the fire all the time. So that is one of the few people that I know that have been on this thing that is working for prostate. So fire, and if you look at the presentation I did on Sunday, I think I mentioned something about those components that can actually makes sense that this can be done. And that is the reason why he's doing all these things. And like we said, we have not scratched to the core of what our products can do. And as things go on, and as some of our test results are coming out, we begin to learn more. And as more it moves around the world, the Caucasians, the Black, everybody is using it. We still discover more and the reason why these things are doing the things they are doing. So I've had issues with people that are taking this thing for prostate, apart from the sexual part of fire. So it works for that too. It does.
Awesome. I have Dr. Blessing Phillips in the house. She has plenty of fire testimonies. Dr. Blessing, you're welcome. Let's hear from you. Dr. Blessing. It's like the network is not very good there. We can't hear you. Okay. Does anybody else have? Okay, good afternoon.
I'm here. I can hear you, sir.
Go ahead.
Oh, I can. Good afternoon, sir. Can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you. Go ahead. Okay, I think that internet just took her out completely. Yeah. So please let's go on. When she joins us, she'll be able to come back into the group. So Dr. Olufade has shared about someone who kept on buying for prostrate. I think I witnessed about a prostrate case last week as well of an elderly man who said, normally he goes to the toilet too frequently overnight, but now it's reduced drastically since they're using bitters and fire. Are there any other testimonies you have observed in this direction that that is worthy of looking at? Rita, Dr. Fumi.
Not that I can think of right now off the cuff. Yeah.
Okay. So the testimony we had this morning about prostate cancer, how do we explain that? Person sent medical reports of showing that some statistics had reduced. What statistics were those really, and how does that really work?
I briefly listened to it, and I think the PSA is the prostate-specific antigen, which is it's one of the cancer markers. And she said it was very high and it has gone low. I mean, I think it's still, everything we've been talking about. The ingredients in Rida bitters, Rida fire, they have I mean, when we read through what the things they do, has to do with anti-cancer as well, and as well as the antioxidants, anti-bacterial, anti-inflammatory. And I think somehow they all work together. You know, like I said, we just need to try it. We just need to keep trying it. And people, I think MI said something yesterday about emphasizing this 90-day plan, because it's possible that people use these products for 2 weeks, 3 weeks, and then drop it, or haphazardly. There's some people who may not stick to it, but if we continue to emphasize that, I believe we will see a lot more than we're even seeing now.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you very much, Dr. Fumi. Mrs. Ogutu, I want to say something. Yes, you can unmute.
Yes, I work in the lab for you.
Okay.
So there was this cancer patient, PSA. Of course, we didn't know he had cancer. The PSA was reading, the normal value is supposed to be 4. Or in this particular patient, of course, coming in from somewhere else, they gave him 100, PSA of 100. And I said, that's not possible. That if he had actually had 100, he would have died. Mm-hmm. So I told him that, okay, let's do another one and know what the value is. So we conducted a new PSA, and it was reading like 20 something, and the man was in severe pain. Mm-hmm. I now told him that there is something I can give you, or as a side drug to whatever the doctors are going to give you. He said he's ready. In fact, his son came back to me and said, don't give him, just give it to me. I will make sure he uses the drug. I just dashed them. I didn't sell. I gave them 250 mil. And the son called me 3 days later to ask me that, where can they get that drug? I asked him, why? What do you want to use? He said the pain had reduced drastically. I now told him that when they finish that 250 mil, they should come back. Let me check the PSA level. Wow. That's the prostate specific antigen. And on checking, from 25, it had dropped to 15. Wow. And I told them I can help them to get it myself. So they bought 3 bottles of the 500 ml, and the man continued using. And the son called me again that for the first time in a long while, the father is sleeping. Wow. That he doesn't sleep because of the pain. Wow. That he's now sleeping, and that sleep alone is enough for them. That even if he does not do any other thing, the fact that he can sleep and is not screaming in the middle of the night. And as of today, though the testimony is not complete, as of today, the PSA had dropped to 10. Wow. So it still continues. We are still waiting till the day to drop to the normal level. And the doctor has actually handed off. He was saying, just continue, because I don't know whatever you are using, but there's a drastic change. The changes are just too many. That just continue. And like Dr. Fumi said, I told them that it's 90 days plus. They must complete that 90 days. And they are just grateful. So I know that even using the combination of reader and fire will have made it faster. But I didn't have fire on me as at the time they came. So it was later I added fire. But only reader had actually started the work, even before they added fire. So, and CM, let me just chip in this. Please go ahead. Dr. Diron, God bless you for the presentation on Sunday. On Sunday, my husband was stuck with me. So he had no choice than to listen to the training on Monday. So, and it was a medical doctor that was talking. So he was, okay, let me listen. He was actually dazed by all that Dr. Diron was talking about. And he was shaking his head and he was like, wow, this is serious. This is serious. So after everything, he said I should send him the recorded version. I was going to play it with some of his friends. And as at yesterday, one of their colleagues had a brother or somebody that had leukemia. And they were calling that, can it be used for leukemia? I said you had it now, that Dr. Diron said it has anti-cancer property. He said, yes, that's true. So they now said, okay, let's try. Let's see what it will do. Because, of course, they know that leukemia, whatever they do, maybe the guy will die. But now they are willing to try reader. And that is one thing that my husband would not even listen to in the past. That you say, yeah, let's try reader. Just leave me alone. It's everything you use your reader for, everything. Reader. But because of the training on Sunday, he's now willing to open up and say, okay, let's try. Let's just see. Maybe it will make any difference. Thank you.
Dr. Jerome, they say you are doing well.
Yeah, do well.
Okay, good. So that's a combo of two. One, we got something on prostrate with actual tests done to show that it works. Another one we got on the leukemia. You know, at the rate that you are going, it's, you know, we're wondering all these testimonies, where are we keeping these testimonies?
Honestly,
I think we need to do a testimony challenge so that we can get all the testimonies coming out so that we can document them. You know, somebody's asking, let's have all these testimonies so that we can push. I have Dr. Philip in the house. Can you face the light? Dr. Philip, face the light, please. Don't back the light. Face it. Yeah, so that your face can be seen. Face the light. Look for where the light is and make sure that good, better. So let's have you, Dr. Philip. Go ahead. You can unmute.
Hello, everyone. Sorry, I've been struggling with network. Starting from the immunity, I will go back to that. I'm sorry to take you back. I hope you don't mind.
It's okay.
Please go ahead.
Okay. During the COVID, I had few of my friends that had contact with a man, and I think they were the first doctors to get contact with COVID in Lutz. And one of them I've been talking to about Rita, Dr. Chechuku, and she said, no, she's not going to try anything of the sort. So immediately she got in contact with that. She called me and said, babe, I'm gone. I said, you're going nowhere. And she told me, I said, but look, instead of going to vitamin C, look at our record, look at our graph. I asked him for the graph within this time. I sent to her the immunity graph, and she said, okay, just get me and tell me how to, should I be using big cup to take it? I said, no, just do 20 minutes. She said, no, let's double the dosage. And she ended up going on 30 news. Maybe I isolated then, waiting for the results up for 14 days. During the 14 days, they were screened, tested, and she was the only one who tested negative among them. Wow. So the rest that contacted it now have to ask her, what did you use? Because she was actually the principal contact with the man. She now told them, they asked me to supply them with that, even while they were already being isolated. They started taking with that. And within 10 days to 12 days, they were testing negative to the COVID. Many of them since then have been using reader. Now, fast forward to prostrate. Last week, I called here to get a testimony on prostrate because I had a patient that I needed to convince beyond doubt to try the product. And the person said no until I have a reason to do that I'm going to, that I should convince him. I was looking for testimony. I called Rita. She referred me to Rita, and I got few. They weren't strong enough to convince him, but he's a top person too, and the quality. So he now said, okay, let's try. I said, okay, let's try. He urinates 10 times a day, minimum of 10 times per night. So he started it. Yesterday he called me and said to me,
Dr. Philip, the voice is cracking. Can you reduce the volume on that phone? It will make you clearer. I think the voice is cutting off. We really want to hear this testimony very well. Reduce the volume.
Okay.
Let's speak. Yes.
Okay, is it better now?
Better, yes.
Fine. Let me go to it again. I said I was actually looking for a testimony to convince him. He needed a conviction to come aboard. So I said, okay, I got him to give me some testimonies on post-trade. He referred me to Rita, and I went to Rita. And I started talking to Rita. Rita gave me few, but they were not strong enough to convince him. So I had to tell him to try it. He urinated 10 times a night, minimum of 10 times a night.
10 times.
He started it after 3 days. He noticed he can only urinate 3 times in a night. So yesterday he called me and said, I only went to the place just once.
Wow.
So I was like, he said I only urinated once. And the pains I have are all gone. I feel better. I feel stronger. I said, okay, let's do it for 90 days. When we are done with these 90 days, you can go back for a check. He said, okay. But while we wait for the 90 days, I should send fire for some of his friends as well.
Wow.
I'm sorry network really not allowing me to say things. I have a cancer patient that I just shared a picture. A cancer patient. I like hearing severe cases. Even on the immunity, I have about 6 sickle cell patients that were being transfused minimum of once in every month. For the past 1 year, no one has transfused them. They've been on reader bitters regularly. For the past 1 year, I'm actually waiting for the reports because they've been doing well. They've gone back to school. Like Rolly, who has not always gone to school due to the issue, is back in school now and has not had crisis for the past 1 year. Testimony also on Kenya. I'll forward the result to CM. I met a person in Cross River here. I am how I use network would just permit me. We met him. He's already on the treatment, but it's not giving them any result. I don't have money to proceed for the necessary things required in the teaching hospital. It's okay, they could start with reader. Last week Sunday, they shared that Nigeria has gone. I said no, it cannot be done like that. They said no, there are no symptoms of it again. I said okay, before you will find out about it, but have to do a 90-day therapy before we go for a test. The immunity in reader can not be compared to any anything. I don't know how you're going to compare it. It's so high. During the COVID, there was a time I felt exposed, had different issues. I shared with Dr. Oliver about this. I shared this with him. And after taking me up for a long time, I went for tests and tested negative. But with the symptoms that I had, everybody felt I had COVID. And they were scared because of my son who was breastfeeding. Reader, I will say tomorrow, next tomorrow, anywhere that reader is a way to go. It should be in every family. It should be in every house. It should be in everyone's back. I want a case of
hello.
yeah.
Dr. Philip is on fire. Oh, calm down. Oh, be calming down. Well done, man. Now, you know, some of these testimonies you are giving in rapid fire, we will need you to record the audio and send us audio. So people are struggling to hear you fully. So we are hearing a little bit. I can hear and I can narrate some of the things she has shared. And there's
trying me to share his own today. It's just because of network that we know network where he is. I'm just managing where I am now. Because I wanted to participate on
very good.
We have issues with network. He wanted to share his experience. on phosphate. He has done for something and nothing to be corrected. And until he started using bitters and fire.
Amazing, amazing, amazing.
Yeah, really, I want him to share something about Dr. A professor we met here. If he has not got blood from me, he has got nothing less than 600,000. He has been connecting all the people that has issue with phosphate. He's a professor from the University of Calabar. He's a commissioner. He had phosphate issue and has been buying. If you are listening to me here, don't joke with any of this product. I am just saying the ones I know. I am just saying the ones I know. I have a woman who was supposed to who shared airing her testimony on the radio station in this Cross River. Her work was clean out from the end from a private part. He started restore with a space of 1 week. His family back. Not joke with reader. Let's get everyone, both our enemies. The Bible said that I will prepare a table for you in the presence of your enemies. So we need to get our enemies healthy to be there and see the table with the time for us. So let everybody get rid of lives.
Thank you very much, Dr. Philip. Thank you very much. Now, what we're going to do is, I think we need to do a WhatsApp prospect meeting where we'll just come with Dr. Philip and we'll just be doing testimony after testimony after testimony. If you don't want to sign up, you can get out. Okay, so we're going to do this. We're going to.
Our reader, the bishop instructed them to install our reader in the hospital and run their daily activities with reader. It's already installed there. Monaya Hospital in the across River State.
Awesome. Okay, so we're going to thank you very much, Dr. Philip. We're going to probably spend some more time with Dr. Philip and get some of these things recorded on audio, so that we can hear very clearly. But I think, if I can go over the things that have been said, that everybody has shared, I know Rita has something she wants to add. There was one thing that stood out for me. So one, prostrate. So we have prostrate on a very good lockdown. We've had a lot of evidence to show that prostrate reader is working there. Leukemia, we have seen that work there. Immunity, we've seen that reader is strong there, and the range of products, fire, restore. We saw a lot of testimonies coming from different places, cleanser as well. Another thing that was mentioned and new that hasn't been in discussion before is sickle cell. And I'm sure it's still the same line of thinking that governs sickle cell. But I'll let Rita, I wanted to call her Rita. I'll let Dr. Rita speak very quickly, and then Dr. Diona, get ready for sickle cell. Dr. Fumi, get ready for sickle cell. And Mrs. Ogutu, actually, I like your lab analysis. I think more people should go to the lab and get results before they begin to use reader, because then we have evidence and data to show the change. I think this will make us more credible if people follow this way. So in fact, it may be a good idea for us to set up a lab. Maybe Ms. Ogutu actually and Dr. Diona want to consult for how do we set up a reader lab so that people can, and Madam Tutu, so that how do we check people before they begin to use, and then we can measure and track the progress. Dr. Rita, over to you.
Okay, good afternoon, everyone.
Good afternoon.
I'm Rita Onobia. I'm a pharmacist, and while Tutuyemi was speaking, it just brought to mind the testimony of my friend who has 2 little boys. For as long as I've known them, like every month or every 2 months, they are always in the hospital treating one thing or another. And there was something that happened last at the early part of the year where they were diagnosed and they were in the hospital for a while, giving injections, this and that, and they were discharged and they were given Orelox suspension. For those who know what Orelox suspension is, it's one of the high antibiotics. and these children were not getting better. And she got so scared because they were having very high fever in the night. And she's the only one at home. So she contacted me and I told her, girl, you have reader in your house. Just give these children reader. Reduce the dose 2.5 mils. And after then, I didn't hear from her again. I think like 3 or 4 days later, I now said, hey, how far now? She now told me that since then the fever had gone. So in line with what Tutuyemi said, it actually made the orthodox medication work better. So it cleared away whatever was obstructing the way and stopping the medication the kids have been taking for a long time from working. So that's what I believe happened. And in line with Dr. Dino Onifade's testimony on COVID, during the lockdown, I know I fell ill. I actually told him about it then. I didn't go for any tests. And what I just did, I did a lot of steaming with the Reader Herbal, with the Reader Balm. And I increased my Reader capsule intake. Usually, I just take one a day for normal maintenance. But that period, I had to increase the dose. And I also run a logistics service. And I have to interact with the rider. And all these symptoms basically came up after a particular interaction with the rider. And I think I was in a hurry and I didn't wear my mask. After then, I started developing so many symptoms. Well, all the basic symptoms that come with the COVID-19. But in my mind, I did not have it. But I did what was necessary. I isolated myself and all that. And okay, I think I was a little anemic at the time as well. So I also took a blood supplement to boost my blood level. So that's it basically. So thank you very much. That's my contribution for now.
Awesome. So I think we're going to wrap it up on sickle cell. Dr. Fumi, then Dr. Durand, sickle cell anemia, then Mrs. Ogutuashi. Yes. On mute.
Yeah, thank you very much.
Yeah.
I mean, when we look at the main challenges, the challenges in sicklers, we have different forms of crisis. We have anemic crisis, we have vaso-occlusive crisis, we have sequestration crisis as well, you know, and reader, again, you know, we've talked about reader possibly causing vasodilatation, anti-inflammatory, analgesic, and also the fact that when we take reader, when people take reader, we encourage them to drink plenty of fluids, you know. So I think all these working together, it can only be beneficial, even in a sickler. The definitely the pain, because our slogan is reader is brutal on pain. It would definitely help the analgesic properties, the anti-inflammatory properties, and all of them working together. Again, it's about trying. I know that if we encourage sickle, I mean, now that we've had these positive feedbacks, we will be, I guess we'll be more encouraged to insist that people who have sickle cell disease can actually try this, and we expect those benefits. Dr. Onifade may want to say a bit more.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you, Dr. Fumi and Farm Rita. Thank you so much. This issue of sickle cell, I actually have few testimony on that. At a point I was compiling some testimonies I want to share, but I lost that document on my previous phone that was faulty. So this just reminded me of one of such testimony. And it's almost the same thing with what was mentioned earlier. This person she has sickle cell. She's always in and out of the hospital and all. So they called me one time that they want me to come and attend to them and all. I said, okay, I don't run any private hospital for now, but I have a friend. Admit him there. I'm going to come there and see them. So that period I was busy at work. I couldn't go, but I've been communicating with my friend, and they were giving all medication and all the antibiotics, fluids as required for the patient. So I wasn't able to see them, but they were not getting better. They called me that we are spending money, we are not getting better, blah, 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 blah. I say, okay, do you guys mind botanicals? Should we just try these botanicals if it's going to work? Because my friend told me all the treatment he has given, he has hydrated you the way he should, giving you the analgesic, giving you antibiotics as we manage all these cases and all. So they said they don't mind. I said, okay, they should send someone down to my house. I gave them 2 bottles of 500 mils and all. So they said they were not going to take in the hospital, but they want to go against medical advice and discharge themselves. So they left and they started taking that reader. They took it so judiciously, and before you know it, my friend just told me that I saw this lady in the hospital. I was in the bank. I saw this lady in the bank a few days ago. She's looking so healthy and so big. You even know that she's the one that was on admission in my place. That she looks so fine. Then like few months after, we just said that the lady got married. The next thing, she's pregnant.
Wow.
They called me like last week and they said that drug that I gave them, she was able to recover from all this thing, and she's now feeling so much better that they have another person that has sickle cell. That can I send that product to them? And I forgot completely that I'm supposed to get back to them until this testimony came. So after today, now I'm going to call them again that, okay, let me send that product. So I completely forgot about the growth of that thing. So this thing works for sickle cell. I've seen it. It does. And like Dr. Fumi has said too, the concept is basically the same thing. This thing has nitrogen oxide. Everybody know what NO is going to do. Let's even forget about the immunity part of this thing. NO causes vasodilation and all those things. And when it comes to sequestration crisis, in sequestration, what it means is that these things come together and probably they accumulate around the spleen and all this while starts happening. And they start having all these issues and all. So in those days, they say all these people, they are biku, sickle cell, they are biku. They are dying because our parents don't know what is actually making them die. But it's not like they don't have herbals that they were giving them at that point in time. But they don't have the right combination of how to mix this thing together. Like they said that, I always give the example of augmentin, that augmentin is amoxicillin plus carbonic acid. We can look at the orthodox medicine as the amoxil. And let's look at reader as the clavulanic acid that makes it to potentiate where it cannot enter. So it works better. If you are taking this drug before it's not working, add bitter to it, it's going to penetrate and work better. So it's simple. And with time, a lot of doctors like us, we come to realize this thing. It's not so far because the whole world is going up right now. They are going to see it. Some of us are at the forefront of it now, that look as if, why are these people doing this? They will see it. We have been there before, we know the way it goes. So in my parting shots, I'm excited that this is happening. I'm excited that we're making this video. A lot of people will benefit from this going forward. Thank you, CM.
Thank you very much, Dr. Diron. Very good. Emma, you want to say something? I know you have some experience with sickle cell as well. Any thoughts? Mrs. Tutu, get ready. Yeah. Mrs. Ogutu Ashe, get ready as well.
Yeah, I actually got a message from a second mom of mine about her daughter who had crises and who had malaria that was not going. And by the time she finished explaining, apparently she had been reading my broadcasts, and she said, I think that reader will work. You know, how do you get across to her and all of that? And before I knew what was happening, got her reader, and now I just checked my phone now, got an invitation to come and address. They have an association or they have like an NGO for sickle cell patients and things like that. So, I mean, this is real out there, and there are real issues that we can actually be able to help contribute our quota to integrate. Like we usually say, we are not in a competitive space. We are there to be able to balance out what is not yet, what is lacking or what is not yet there. And that's what Herbal is here to do. I mean, I see the land is green, the opportunities are big to be able to add value, to be able to help people have a better quality of life. I mean, from these testimonies, one thing that has stood out for me is the fact that some people are alive, but they are really, really, sometimes when you look at them, they're really better dead. Yeah, because of some of high level of pain and issues and health issues that they're battling. I know when they hear testimonies about them getting relief and all of that, you see that they are having a better quality of life, and we can extend that to a lot more people, and we have something in our hands that has the capacity to do that. But I see where the work is. Yeah, the work is in educating people, making people see what is possible, and helping people have, being healthy, even in explaining it. Not that I'm saying you should put this aside. But no, this is here to be able to augment, to be able to pave a way so that what you've been using can work. So when we educate people properly, then they will accept what we're saying more openly. So I see that, and I see the days ahead, the years ahead, the months ahead are really, they're exciting for me to see that people can enjoy better quality of life and extend it to their loved ones and on and on. The future is really good. It's amazing. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Emma. Somebody is asking a question about, can sickle cell that is age 3 use the product if the minimum age is age 4? Somebody can address that in their passing shot when they are talking. There's a question there about, can somebody who is age 3 use Reader, since they say that Reader is for people who are age 4 and above. But still on passing shots, Mrs. Ogutuashi, can you passing shot from you? You can unmute.
Okay, sir. Let me quickly read what I have here from my training some time ago. Diagnostic testing is essential to the basic management of patient care, allowing our patients to detect disease early, help medical providers to make diagnosis, prescribe therapy, and allow our patients to monitor results. Laboratory tests are often part of a routine checkup to look for changes in our health. So for me, as a lab scientist, when anybody comes to me to talk about any ailment, I advise them, let's do the test first so that we know the starting point and we can monitor the changes. And if there is anything is happening, we will know. And if it's not working, we will actually know. So from my own angle, it will be very good for anybody coming to you, maybe for sugar, diabetes, and all sorts of things. Let's know where they are coming from. Let's have a figure to work with. So that, and that was what I told my husband. The sister went to hospital for some tests and they brought the results. I looked at the results. Okay, now we have results. Let's start Reader. Let's start Restore. And after 90 days, let her go back and check. And let's see if there's any changes at all. And because I'm bringing a clinical angle to it now, is open. Okay, let's do that so that we can know if Reader is actually working. Because presently the doctors have said they cannot do anything. That if they start giving her drugs, the hormonal imbalance will even increase because she has hormonal imbalance. They have tried to treat, and as FSH is going up and prolactin is coming down. So curing one and putting having another problem, and the doctor said they had to stop because FSH would not even allow any egg to be released. So, and they are now thinking of maybe she should just go for what is it called now? IVF. IVF. She should just go for IVF. But now we are putting Reader to the test. Let's see what Restore and Reader Vitas can do on hormonal balance. Maybe to be able to balance the hormone and it will come down. And so far so good. She has used 1 month. There's a very good result that something is changing. The FSH that was very high before is coming down.
Wow.
And even the doctor is like, okay, even the gynecologist is interested. He wants to see this through. Let's see what happens. Maybe it will be able to correct the FSH. Meanwhile, the prolactin will not shoot up again and everything will be normal. So far, so good. Prolactin has remained normal. FSH is coming down. LH is normal. And it's only FSH that is still very high, but it's coming down. So my own angle is that let's know where we are starting from, so that if we have the results, this is where the lab results, and after 1 month of using Reader Betas, this is what has happened. Another month, this is what has happened, so that we can measure. And when we are talking to people that are medically oriented, these are the things they will ask. Where are the results? Let me see what is happening. So I think the laboratory tests are very important especially for those that we can actually look at. And on the case of sickle cell, I think it's like what every other person has said. Also, I think it's their immune system that's been boosted. Like when the immune system is strong enough, they can fight anything that is coming in. And you know, most of their problem, some of the problem of sickle cell is when they have little colds or malaria coming in, it breaks them down much more than any other person, so to speak, AA or AS individual. So when their immune system is strong, they are good to go. They are running up and down. Like I have a case in hand presently that I was skeptical initially, but when I started reading about some HPSS testimony, I started with very small dose, and the immune system is strong now. The boy is not coming down with malaria like before. It's very strong now. So I think the laboratory tests are very important so that we can actually document and say this is where we are coming from, this is where we are now, and this is the end result that we are hoping to get. Thank you.
Thank you very much. I think we have one more person to go. Madam Tutu, you can give us a quick comment. So I don't know if anybody has an answer to this question about H3, somebody that is H3 with sickle cell. Typically, what we will do is just reduce the dosage and give a little bit of a touch, but I don't know. Medical doctors in the house can recommend what to do for this 3-year-old.
Actually, I have a 3-year-old.
We are not hearing you clearly.
Actually, I have a 3-year-old.
Okay.
Yes, and what I do is just that 2 days alternate day. I give today and next day, but what I give is 5 meals.
Okay. Okay. So Dr. Phillips says she does 5 meals every 2 days or every other alternate day. Okay. Anybody else? Any closure from you? You need to unmute. Yeah, unmute here. You need to. We're not hearing you. Hello.
Can you hear me now?
We can hear you now. Yes.
Okay. Talking about sickle cell, you remember I have one person that actually started with their daughter. The girl is 6 years old. So what she does, an interval of 3 days. But she first tells you to use it for the girl. What she noticed was that her cycle didn't last the way in the normally last. So she came back the following day to tell me that normally the girl won't be able to sleep, but that immediately she got back to the house, she took her meal and she was able to sleep. So after this, she has been giving it to her, I think about 3 days. I need to also report any of actually know any more improvement. At least for that first day, she had the testimony of the cycle being like for individual young people.
Okay, thank you very much. I struggled to hear that a bit. I had every 3 days, but I didn't hear that very clearly. Okay, I think this is a good place to park it today. We've taken a lot of time beyond the time as allotted to us. Usually the way these conferences go, questions just keep popping up and answers keep coming up. Somebody's asking recommendation for seizures. You'll find all the recommendations for all the products in the A to Z. If you go to the A to Z document on FAQ, seizures, cancer, diabetes, everything is there, and the number of doses or the options of products to use is there as well. I think maybe we can use tomorrow to go through that document, to a few of those documents a bit, to showcase what's inside the documents and let people see the document in action so that we can close on that note. I want to thank everybody for being here today. It's been an exceptional meeting. Thank you very much, Dr. Durand, for your contributions. Thank you, Dr. Fumi. Thank you, Dr. Rita. Thank you, Dr. Phillips. Thank you, Mrs. Adetutu. Thank you, Dr. Rita. Thank you, Thank you. Today's code. People are asking for today's code. Today's code is 10101. Okay, I think yesterday's code was 10110. Was that yesterday's code? Today's code is going to depend on yesterday's code. I'm going to give you today.